A federal agency has been struggling to hire and maintain its workforce. The number of employees has been shrinking and the demand has been increasing. This is happening in FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. They currently have about 20,000 federal employees across 10 different regional offices, but they need more. Should you consider it? This agency has been stretched thin due to the response of the last two major hurricanes, Helene and Milton. There have been over 100 other major disasters that FEMA has been responding to all over the country, but the hurricanes, that's what makes the news, that's what people hear about. In fact, the number of disasters has only been increasing over the last 10-15 years. Look at this chart. We can see it's pretty much doubled. When disaster strikes, FEMA can activate what they call the Surge Capacity Force. This is a roster of volunteers in other federal agencies. You can find these opportunities on USAJobs.gov, and it looks a little something like this. This is considered a detailed position at whatever your current grade is, and it's in the 0301 job series. This isn't a promotion opportunity, but it allows you to go out there and get some new experience. Assignments usually between 45 and 60 days. And yeah, there's on-the-job training that's provided. One of the main reasons that FEMA relies upon this list is they do not have enough employees within their own agency. This is how the staffing usually looks like in FEMA, and you can see here 22% are permanent employees. The other 78% are non-permanent. On most days, when you pull up USAJobs.gov, you can see over 100 positions that are open on USA Jobs for FEMA. This is exactly what their hiring process would look like. You see number 3, it says that they generally post job announcements on USAJobs.gov. This is because you can go out to hiring events and you can interact directly with hiring managers, get interviewed, get a job offer. And that's exactly what was happening not too long ago in Northern Virginia. The Department of Homeland Security had a major hiring event and they gave out something like 200 job offers on the spot. Now, should you even consider FEMA? Let's look at the agency, see how they rank. FEMA is under DHS and it currently ranks right in the middle of subcomponent agencies with 224 points out of a total of 459. The worst ranked areas are employee input, recognition, and the pay. The satisfaction trend has been on the rise, especially if you look back at the past 15 years, it's never been higher. While you're looking on USAJobs.gov, I want you to pay attention to two main things. The first one is the salary. So if the salary is spelt out by hour, if it's saying $17 an hour or $25 an hour, that might be a term position. The same thing with the pay band IC. If you see IC, that might be a term position. Nothing wrong with term positions, but I know a lot of us, we're more focused on the permanent positions. And to look for those, it typically has the annual salary listed on the job announcement. The top job series in FEMA are 0301, which is administration, 0343, program analyst, and 0501, which is finance. As you go through and search through these jobs, you're going to notice that some of them do say term. That means they're temporary, not to exceed 24 months or not to exceed 4 years. And other ones say intermittent. Now, with that, that means there is no consistent schedule. You can accept a job offer, you might not even work for the entire month. They're going to call you when they need you. So there's nothing wrong with that, but it depends on what you're looking for. Most of us are looking for something that's consistent, secure, and stable. We're looking for permanent. Thankfully, there is a filter to get rid of the other options if you want to focus on permanent. The first job is for a program analyst in Washington, D.C. You have a salary here between $99,000 and $153,000 a year. This salary might be enough for you if it's just you in a studio, maybe 30 minutes away from DC, maybe. If you have a family, if you have financial responsibilities, a car, rent, health insurance, the salary is probably not going to be enough. So for this job, you're going to need experience in planning, design, implementation, improvement, modification of IT systems and programs. I'm surprised that this job is actually categorized as a 0343 because it sounds more like a 2210. It sounds like it has a focus on IT. But there are times where HR can kind of mix them up. With the 0500 series especially, there's some things in there I believe should be 0300. Same thing with 1000. So you really need to read the entire job announcement. This one should really be an IT project manager position. You can see that in the duties, it spells it out. If you have that experience, great. You could be eligible, you could be qualified for a job like this. But if your experience is more admin, I wouldn't even waste time applying to this job. Next one is a training specialist in Maryland with a salary range of $82,000 to $128,000 a year. This one's in the 1712 job series. And even though it's listed as GS 11 to 12, it has the promotion potential of up to GS 13, which means that for the next 3 years, if you accept this position, every 12 months you could be eligible for a promotion. You would not have to go and apply anywhere else to get promoted. The experience you need is training and instructing. It can be from a college, military, a training program, developing or reviewing training material in aids. Many of us have trained others in previous jobs, but we dismiss it because it wasn't our primary duty. We still did it though. This is in particular with the military and a lot of other organizations where you're expected to train the new person. So you can highlight that on your resume and be competitive for a job like this. You do not need a degree in education. You don't need any degree, but you do need the experience. And I want to highlight this part of the job announcement. Your resume should not exceed 5 pages. This is a beautiful thing that more federal agencies have been doing. It's great for you and me because it expedites the hiring process. No longer do human resource specialists have to sit at a desk and read a 25-page short story about a person's career. They can just look at the first 5 pages. If page 6 has the relevant information, then that's too bad for that candidate. Make sure your relevant experience is in that top 5 pages. Matter of fact, make sure it's on the first page if you can, because that's the most important page, but try not to go over 5 pages. I also want to emphasize this part of the announcement. It defines best qualified, well qualified, and qualified categories. But who gets referred? Does being qualified get you referred? It says that if you are best qualified, you may be referred to the hiring manager. So many people are out there saying, hey, I'm qualified for this job. I've held this exact same job position. Why did I not get referred? Well, the answer is, just like this is telling you, you were not best qualified. You might have been qualified. You might have even been highly qualified. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough for this job announcement. For this hiring action, it wasn't enough. So what that tells you is you have to strengthen it. Strengthen your resume. Next job here is an instruction systems specialist in Alabama with a salary range of $73,000 to $95,000 a year. This is another education job in the 1700 series. It's in the 1750. It's more about developing the test and the assessments. It's not really the training aspect. It's the support. It's the curriculum development aspect. Now this one, it does have a college requirement. You're going to need a degree with 24 semester hours in one of 5 different areas, which all cover education. The experience you need is designing, analyzing course material and programs for instructors. The opinions of working for FEMA, they're all over the place depending on if you're a volunteer or if you have a temporary position or if you're full-time. Now, usually when it comes to the deployment, a lot of those, they could be for those temporary folks. But what a lot of people don't realize is not everybody is deploying all over the country. A lot of FEMA positions are stuck in one location and they're doing a lot of paperwork. It is in support of the disaster recovery, of the response effort, but you will not be putting boots on the ground and actually going there. And a lot of people are turned off by the fact, like we mentioned earlier, that there are a lot of temporary positions, and that might not be what you're looking for. Now, if you're new to searching and applying to federal government jobs, you probably have a lot of questions on your mind, especially about the hiring process, maybe about different pay bands, different type of government jobs. I did a live stream recently. I answered over a dozen questions. A lot of these questions, they could be on your mind. If you're interested in that, I want you to check this video out next. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.